everyone, welcome back to MOTOBLADE. Today we're doing the 5,500 mile oil change in the Chieftain Dark Horse. To do this, we're going to need a couple of tools. Number one, we're going to need a torque wrench, something that goes to at least 15 foot-pounds of torque. You're also going to need these hex keys that fit your torque wrench. Also going to need an oil drip pan for all of your old oil to go into, or you could just, let it run in the river and kill some endangered newt. You're also going to need one of these, Indian's Thunderstroke 111 oil change kit. Comes with 5.5 quarts of oil. Comes with the oil filter and 2 new crush washers for your drain plugs that you'll take off during the process. So the first thing you need to do before changing the oil is you need to run the motorcycle for a few minutes and bring it up to operating temperature range, which I've already done. I brought it out of the garage, ran it for a couple minutes, so we're good to go. The next thing you're going to need to do is to go under the bike here, and there are going to be 2 drain plugs. Both of these get undone, and then your oil will come out here. That's going to make a mess, and then we'll take off the oil filter. There we go. So I get that started. Alright, now that we got our drain plugs removed, our oil's coming out pretty steadily. These are the drain plugs. It's nothing terribly big or fancy, but it's supposed to have a crush washer around it. However, my crush washers did not come off when these came off, so they're still stuck in there. So after the oil finishes draining here, I will get up in there with a small screwdriver and pair of tweezers and pull out those crush washers. Our next step is to remove the oil filter, which is fairly convenient right here in the front. Indian has a oil filter removal tool, but since we do not have that, we're just going to use a pair of channel locks. Go. Here's a close-up look of our oil journal after we remove the filter. Time to get the new filter ready and get those old crush washers off, and then we'll be ready to put oil back in. So what we discovered is by standing the bike upright, rocking it back and forth a little bit, and rolling it back and forth a little bit, we got, what would you say, an extra half pint, yeah. Out of the bottom, it's still coming out now in a steady stream right there. We have any more coming out the front?
Nope.
No. So the front end is done. But definitely stand the bike upright and rock it back and forth a little bit. We end up getting a lot more out. It's still coming out pretty good. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is prep our oil filter. It's not a whole lot of prep, just make sure you take some oil, clean oil, and run it along that rubber seal. That'll help make sure that you get a really good seal when you put it on your motorcycle. Let's go ahead and wipe this off. And screw on our new oil filter. Alright, that's on tight. It's got a couple of scratches on the little rubber paint there. If you guys have the Indian approved oil filter adapter, it'll make that a lot easier. But channel locks work just as well. Alright, now that we have our new crush washers on our screws, we're going to go ahead and put our drain plugs back in. See where they are. going to take a second to wipe these off. And then we need to tighten these to 15 foot-pounds of torque with our 6mm socket head. Now that those are back in, we can start filling it with oil. Alright, so our next step is to remove our drain fill cap. Set that aside. And we're only going to be able to initially fill this with 4.5 quarts of oil. It takes 5.5. We're just going to start with 4.5. Also, make sure you guys always use Indian's actual oil for your bike. Semi-synthetic, it's their proprietary blend, and it will keep your Indian Chieftain, Roadmaster, Springfield, whatever you have, running a lot better and a lot happier for a lot longer. So we skipped ahead a little bit just because it was kind of boring to watch me pour oil in here. Now we're on 4.5 quarts. Once this little half quart goes in, we will run the motorcycle, and then we can add the final quart. So now we need to run our motorcycle at 2,500 RPM for approximately 2 to 3 minutes. That will allow the oil to go through the whole system, and then we can add our last quart. Now we just add our last quart. Last quart is done. Take our funnel out. Reinstall our dipstick. Tighten it all the way down. Take it back out. As long as our oil reads between add and full, which it does, we're good. Put it back in, screw it down all the way. Now we have to run our bike again for another 2 minutes. It doesn't have to go up to 2,500 to 3,000 RPM again. Just run it for another 2 minutes, let that last quart cycle through, and then we'll be good. Now that we've run the bike for another 2 minutes, we can take our dipstick back out, wipe it off, put it back in all the way, bring it back out, and check our level. And it shows that we are between full and add. So we're good. Our oil change was successful. And now the only thing left to do is update our oil change time in Ride Command. So the last thing we want to do is reset change oil soon. We can either do it here, or if that message is not showing on your screen, you can go to Settings, General, down to Vehicle, Oil Life Service Reset, and there we go. And it says our next oil change is due in 5,000 miles. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful to you in some way. If it was, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. There's a big red button down there somewhere. It says subscribe on it. Click the bell icon next to it. That'll give you guys notifications when there's new videos to watch right here on MOTOBLADE. If you haven't already checked out my merchandise, go check out that in my store. I'll throw a link to it down in the description over on Teespring. I've got some cool MOTOBLADE shirts for sale. So until next time, guys, you know what to do. Be careful out there, ride safe, ride on. I'll catch y'all later. Deuces.